Hi, this is Sally Book Club, where we uncover global literary gems for you every day. Today we're discussing the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The book presents a controversial yet straightforward thesis: the wealth mindset that separates the rich from others. Some might consider wealth building guides vulgar, believing hard work alone leads to success. But Robert's story might challenge that perception. Let's start with the book's title. Robert literally had two fathers. His biological poor dad wasn't actually poor. This PhD holder with scholarships from Stanford and Chicago worked in Hawaii's Department of Education, a well-paid professional. So why poor dad? He faced multiple bankruptcies and left only debts. You might wonder, how's this possible? An educated middle-class professional drowning in debt? This financial peril is surprisingly common in high-tax, credit-driven societies. American middle-class listeners might gasp. That's me. Now, here comes the twist. Meet the rich dad, Robert's mentor and friend's father. This high school dropout built his empire from scratch. Despite humble beginnings, he became a Hawaiian millionaire philanthropist. Both fathers started as middle-class professionals, but their financial destinies diverged dramatically. Why this stark contrast? This disparity became Robert's life-changing revelation. To Robert, his biological father was intelligent, hardworking, and reliable, making his bankruptcy even more unacceptable. Now you understand why wealth building isn't vulgar after all. Robert realized these two fathers represented completely different financial philosophies. He rejected his poor dad's blueprint: elite education, corporate job, lifelong labor. Would this path lead to the same financial ruin? Did he want perpetual money struggles? So Robert committed to his rich dad's teachings. Through perseverance, he achieved financial freedom at 47, investing and traveling globally. If rich dad made him wealthy, Robert believed he could teach others too. Thus emerged the book we're discussing. Rich Dad, Poor Dad resonated with America's debt-ridden middle class upon release. It dominated bestseller lists for 6 consecutive years. The series expanded, including a collaboration with President Trump, Midas Touch. Total sales now exceed 30 million copies worldwide. Calling it a publishing phenomenon isn't exaggeration. The 250,000-word book's essence lies in its financial philosophy. For deeper understanding, we'll analyze using supplementary materials. Part 1, Contrasting the Father's Financial Mindsets. This comparison reveals mindset's role in wealth creation. Part 2, Rich Dad's 4 Counterintuitive Wealth Lessons. These unconventional principles contain profound wisdom. Let's begin with Part 1. What fundamentally differentiated their financial philosophies? When encountering something unaffordable, Poor Dad would say, "I can't afford this," and drop the matter. Rich Dad forbade this mindset, pushing Robert to ask, "How can I earn enough to afford this?" Poor Dad's definitive, "I can't afford this," closed all possibilities. The Rich Dad countered, "You can afford it, just figure out how." This marks their first fundamental difference. Poor Dad's avoidance mentality killed motivation in action. How could he prosper? How could Poor Dad ever escape financial mediocrity? Rich Dad's proactive approach transformed impossibilities into opportunities through constant action. Like someone choosing couch relaxation over fitness, the gym goer inevitably develops superior physicality. Physical activity breeds health. Similarly, proactive financial thinking generates wealth. Poor Dad warned avoid risks, while Rich Dad taught manage risks, another critical divergence. Poor Dad embodied middle-class risk aversion and failure phobia. Rich Dad embraced calculated risks, like venturing out despite possible rain. Inaction carries greater danger than thoughtful action in wealth building. Rich Dad openly admired Texans' approach to failure. Texans celebrate success boisterously and own failures unapologetically. They transform setbacks into fuel for future triumphs. No Olympic champion avoids missteps. No lover escapes tears. No wealthy person evades losses. Rich Dad's ultimate lesson: failure crushes cowards but propels the courageous. Poor Dad wanted Robert to save diligently, While Rich Dad pushed him to invest relentlessly, no millionaire built wealth through saving. Stagnant money loses value daily. Investing turns every dollar into unpaid employees working 24/7 for you. These money employees generate continuous income without salaries. Third difference. Poor dad saw money as savings, rich dad as wealth generating capital. Rich dad's philosophy embodied capitalist spirit. Uninvested money keeps you perpetually assetless. Poor dad personified middle class financial flaws, conservatism, passivity, anti capitalism. These mindsets doomed him to debt and bankruptcy. Rich Dad embraced risk and capitalist principles. Only such mentality elevates middle class to wealth. Now let's explore Rich Dad's 4 financial lessons. Lesson 1. Don't work for money. The Rich Dad's hamster wheel analogy. Workers running endlessly without progress. Aren't wage slaves just like that exhausted hamster? Surface level effort brings no real wealth. Why? Tunnel vision, focusing only on paychecks, blinds deeper opportunities. What deeper value? Rich Dad's job evaluation criteria. What can this position give me? Many entrepreneurs started as underpaid employees. To bosses, they seemed hardworking and undemanding. Colleagues mocked, why hustle for peanuts? Were they foolish? Absolutely not. As the saying goes, sparrows can't understand swans' ambitions. Average workers see jobs as paycheck sources. Future entrepreneurs value skill development and network building. $200 salary difference means nothing compared to these opportunities. Some choose jobs solely for social status, not financial growth. Robert shares an enlightening story in his book. During a Singapore book tour interview, a female journalist complained, I have a literature MA and write well, but struggle financially. How can I become a best-selling author like you? Robert suggested sales training, which offended her. She deemed sales beneath her academic status. Robert's intent was strategic. She needed self-promotion skills. Best-selling requires salesmanship, not just writing talent. He wanted her to market herself effectively, not become a salesperson. She focused on status, he emphasized skill development. Prioritizing job prestige or salary reflects poverty mindset. Such thinking traps you in short-term gains. View jobs as stepping stones for skills and connections. Lesson 2. Distinguish assets from liabilities. First, understand cash flow dynamics. What's cash flow? It's money's movement direction. Simplified. Is money entering or leaving your pocket? Positive cash flow means consistent income. Negative cash flow indicates financial drains. Assets generate positive cash flow. Example, rental properties producing monthly income. Another example, investing in a business with annual dividends. Liabilities create negative cash flow. Cars demand insurance, maintenance, parking fees, constant expenses. Owner-occupied homes incur mortgages and maintenance costs. These perpetual expenses make them liabilities. True assets generate income without your direct involvement. Stocks, bonds, income-generating properties, these are real assets. Liabilities drain your resources constantly. Daily expenses, loans, even taxes become financial burdens. Middle-class fatal error, misidentifying liabilities as assets. They pour money into asset-looking liabilities. Mortgaged homes and luxury cars bleed money while masquerading as assets. Young couples proudly acquiring big houses and luxury cars through loans. Then indulging in consumption without financial awareness. Reality. Mortgage payments, maintenance, insurance devour their income. Careless spending compounds these financial drains. Some wealthy individuals intuitively understand cash flow dynamics. They instinctively acquire income-generating assets. While middle class buys liabilities, the rich accumulate true assets. Special note on real estate appreciation potential. Strategic property investments create wealth through value appreciation. Real estate becomes an asset only under specific conditions. Buying low and selling high, which poses 2 issues. First, for middle-class homeowners with single mortgaged property, appreciation means little unless you sell and become renter again. Mortgage payments remain concrete financial burdens. Second, property doesn't always appreciate. China's post-reform economic boom created perpetual growth illusions. Robert invests cautiously, knowing U.S. market cycles include crashes. He warns your mortgaged home is liability, not asset. Advice: build assets first to offset property costs before buying home. Recommended reading: Mastering the Economic Cycle Reveals Property Tycoons' Secrets. Our program previously covered this title. That concludes Lesson 2. Lesson 3: Seizing Invisible Opportunities. At age 9, Robert's excitement about wealth lessons got cold watered. Rich Dad made him work convenience store for 10 cents per hour. When demanding raise, Robert lost even that meager pay. Rich Dad's teaching: opportunities surround those who look. Robert began actively seeking revenue streams. Discovery stores discarded comic books periodically. These comics were treasures to kids. Wasting them felt wrong. Solution: comic reading rooms charging 10 cents for 2-hour access. Robert and Mike hired Mike's sister to manage the reading room for $1 daily. The self-sustaining business earned them their first significant income. Rich Dad simply raised wages. Robert might have settled for paycheck complacency. Would he ever consider entrepreneurial opportunities? Opportunities surround us. Recognition separates wealth builders from wage earners. Most chase higher salaries and better benefits. Few cultivate division to spot hidden gold mines. Thus, they remain trapped in the salary raise hamster wheel. Opportunity detection requires attentive observation. Case study: friend purchased haunted house for $70,000 amid public ridicule. I'd never waste money on that ghost property, skeptics declared. The investor smiled through criticism without justification. Soon, he sold partial land for $210,000 profit. The shocking turnaround left critics bewildered and curious. Secret: pre-research developers craving land in that zone. Vacant lots adjacent to the house presented the golden opportunity. Solution: become the missing link between demand and supply. Demolished vacant structures and sold land to developers. Observational acuity yielded multi-year salary equivalent profit. Finally, Lesson 4: the snowball effect. Mastering previous lessons means you're accumulating assets. But should you splurge? Absolutely not. That would drive you back to square one. Now reinvest profits to build self-sustaining wealth systems. Imagine lounging while your system works 24/7 like Rich Dad. Case study: 2 partners split windfall differently. Partner A blew cash on luxuries and reverted to poverty. Partner B's reinvestments multiplied wealth exponentially. Wealth preservation requires continuous compounding. The rich prosper through perpetual reinvestment systems. Why do the wealthy keep getting richer? Their money works relentlessly through established systems. Stopping investment growth leads back to poverty. True wealth requires endless snowball rolling. We've covered all 4 wealth lessons. 1. Work for growth, not wages. 2. Acquire true income-generating assets. 3. Develop opportunity spotting vision. 4. Perpetually compound investments. These principles form the foundation of financial freedom. Remember, wealth isn't about money, it's about systems. Build your money machine, then let it work tirelessly. As we stated initially, mindset determines wealth potential. Robert himself embarked on his financial freedom journey through these principles. Let's conclude with extended insights. Growing assets expand investment opportunities and partnerships. Robert's crucial advice: choose partners wisely. Good partners elevate, bad ones destroy. Robert's nylon wallet venture partners: 1 cowardly, 1 dishonest. Recipe for disaster. Predictably, they absconded with funds during crisis. How to identify reliable partners. Seek trustworthy individuals with complementary skills. Ideal partnerships combine strategic and operational strengths. Example: visionary plus detail-oriented duo. Trump's television venture story illustrates this. In 2003, Trump co-created The Apprentice with TV veteran Mark Burnett. Burnett respected Trump's novice perspective while providing expertise. Meticulous preparation characterized their collaboration. The show became massive success. Trump's TV success stemmed from ideal partnership dynamics. Burnett's experience accelerated Trump's media growth. Strategic partnerships transform challenges into triumphs. Partnerships are like marriages. Choose right and thrive, wrong and face endless conflict. That concludes our Rich Dad Poor Dad discussion. Full notes below. See you tomorrow.